Hi everyone, this is Lucy at Middle Path Yoga. Today I've got a sequence to help you build up your upper body strength. So awareness of the upper body and then incrementally building up your strength there. A lot of times in class people, I mentioned that we're doing arm strengtheners, upper body strengtheners, and the immediate reaction is, nope, I can't do it. And there's a sort of mental blockage which can obstruct your progress, shall we say. And we know in yoga that we're working also on the mental body, not just the physical body, so helping to reprogram that in the mind. So I've worked up incrementally. We start by just working out how to get neutral spine, starting a cat, and how to work out neutral. And then from there, a little bit more weight bearing on the arms, step by step. Plenty of pauses in child's pose to catch your breath back. So the aim of this sequence is to hopefully help build your confidence so that it doesn't send a shudder down the spine when you hear that that's perhaps what's in store for you in that class, and then perhaps even starting to enjoy these stronger postures such as the plank and the dolphin. So I invite you to give it a go daily if you can, and I'm confident that you'll see the progress. So give it a go and see if you can enjoy it.
So we're going to start on hands and knees, checking that your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Spread the fingers. Just relax the neck. Check that your knees are underneath your hips, tops of the feet on the floor. We're going to push down through the palms of the hands as if we're making an imprint of our hands on some wet sand or wet clay. And by pushing down, you start to feel a lift there through the upper back. Tucking the tailbone in and letting the spine ripple up, and then allowing the tailbone to bend the other way and the rest of the spine follows. So similar to a cat pose, Madhyasana, but starting both movements from the tailbone. So tailbone tucks, rest of the spine follows, and then tailbone lifts, rest of the spine follows. And then finding neutral. Keeping the spine in neutral, you're going to raise one arm, extend forwards, and then have a go raising the other arm, upper arm in line with the ear. Let's give the wrists a little stretch off, raising one hand, rotating the wrists a few times in each direction, and then bending the elbow, rotating the shoulder. Big full movements in both directions. See where the neck wants to be in order to be comfortable. Raising the other hand again, rotating the wrist. We can look up as well to get the twist through the neck. Bending at the elbow, rotating all the way through that shoulder joint. Find the breath and change direction. Extending back now through the right foot, ball of the foot to the floor, pushing back through the right heel. At the same time, we're still planting down through both hands so we don't have a dip between the shoulder blades. Nice stretch on the right ankle, right Achilles, calf muscle. Still keeping the spine in neutral. And then extending the other leg, changing over. Find your breath. Ball of the foot planted, pushing back through the left heel now. Extending back once again through the right heel, and also at the same time the left arm extended. So look over your right shoulder and just check that your right toes are pointing down. You're pushing back through the right heel, not lifting the hip. Starting again now, left foot on the floor, extending the right arm. And then if you're comfortable to do so, raising the left leg. Looking over the left shoulder, checking the left toes are now pointing down. extending in both directions. Take a breather there in child's pose. Rest the elbows, relax the bottom back to the heels, and breathe. Stretching the wrists if they're feeling tender. From child's pose then, coming back up to all fours, tucking the toes under for stability and coming into our tricep press ups. It's the transition in a sun salute down to the position of 8 limbs. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you lower. And we really are trying to engage the triceps, try to strengthen the tricep muscles here. So it's really important that you keep the elbows hugged in tight so that your upper arms are closer in contact with your ribs as you lower. Don't worry about how far you go down to start off with, just build up to that. So back to a downward facing dog. Let's move through a gentle vinyasa, lowering to the floor. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we're going to raise the right leg up, push the heel up towards the ceiling. Same time, push the left heel down. And then come forwards into a plank pose. So rocking between these two postures. Exhaling forwards, inhaling back up. So it's important that we keep the shoulders above the wrists. If you go beyond your wrists, you might need to move the back foot. Forwards and changing. So we're going to come down to the floor in between into another vinyasa. Exhale, downward facing dog. Raising the left leg, inhale. Exhale, forwards to our plank. Inhale, lift. 5 on this side. Exhale. Shoulders above the wrists. Inhale a little higher with the heel if you can. And back through our vinyasa again. Knees, chest, chin to the floor. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Catch your breath back here. Maybe march out the backs of the legs. Drop the weight of your head. Relax the neck. Inhale, exhale. So we'll give our wrists a bit of a break now. Coming down onto the forearms. So take hold of your elbows and then interlock the fingers in front of you. Make a tight fist with both hands. Again, shoulders are aligned here above the elbows. We're going to exhale forwards, inhale, shift the body back. So again, don't worry about how far you go to start off with. Let's make them accurate rather than collapsing forwards. Once you've built up your strength, you'll be able to bring your nose in front of the hands towards the floor. Inhale back, exhale forwards. And then a step on from that would be to raise the knees. Exhaling forwards. We're quite a bit stronger with the knees off the ground. Pushing down through the forearms in order to lift yourself back up. Pushing down through the outside of the wrist joints. In, exhale forwards. Relaxing the buttocks back towards the heels, walking the arms over towards one side. Catch your breath back here in a little side bend from our child's pose, breathing into the side ribs. Try and rest the head, maybe on a block. Maybe you might need to take the knees wider if your head doesn't touch the floor. And then walking the hands to the other side. Again, about 3 breaths here. Bottom staying back towards the heels. Coming back up onto the forearms now, and as we did from our all fours, we're going to push back through one heel, engage the core, and then see if we could lift the other leg as well. So holding that forearm plank pose, raising one foot off the floor, keeping the core neutral here, the spine neutral. We're pushing through the forearms so there's no dip between the shoulder blades. Great. Once you've mastered that, coming up into sometimes called downward facing puppy. So you're on the forearms, lifting the hips, pushing back through the heels. And then similar to before, we're going to transition from the hips raised and then bringing the shoulders forwards above the elbows. If you feel comfortable with that, we can do the same movement but with one leg raised. So raising the heel, forwards, exhale. So we go on the other side. Inhale, Exhale forwards, hovering the foot off the ground. Inhale, exhale, fantastic. And then resting in child's pose, sitting the bottom back towards the heels, head onto the floor or perhaps onto your hands. Catch your breath back. And pausing here, and then when you're ready you can come over into savasana for your final relaxation.